We are in section 1, key concepts of information security management. We have a total of 7 sections or 7 chapters, that is. So let us begin our journey by understanding the key concepts of information security management. From an exam perspective, we will need to understand the purpose of the practice and also various terms and concepts such as information security characteristics, confidentiality, availability, integrity, authentication, non-repudiation. These are the various characteristics. And then also other terms such as threat, threat actor, vulnerability, risk, control of the risk, risk treatment, residual risk, and also the various practice success factors and key metrics of the practice against each practice success factor. Note that in the exam, the questions may cover anything from this courseware. We also highly recommend that you study the practice guide, which will be available to you using your exam voucher. You can use that to access the practice guide either through the PeopleCert portal or locally through the Bookshelf app. The purpose of this practice. Something you might have picked up from the ITIL Foundation certification itself. There are 2 things here. 1, to protect the information needed by the organization to conduct its business. And this includes understanding and managing risks to the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information, as well as other aspects of information security, such as authentication and non-repudiation. So mainly, it's about protecting the information needed by the organization to conduct its business. It could be any kind of information. Mostly, it would be digital, but it can also include non-digital information kept in physical files, records, etc., as long as that is some kind of information the business uses. And for that purpose, the second thing here is the risk management is also important for the information itself, which means certain controls have to be in place to manage risk and other things also have to be done. So make sure you get this purpose clear for the exam with the protection aspect and the risk management aspect. And you might be aware that this practice is becoming very important from the digital transformation perspective as well, because the digital services have grown so much across the world, across industries, and therefore security breaches could have a major impact on the business of any organization. We also have cloud solutions and many partners and consumers working together to create dependencies among themselves. And there can be some impact to the control of information, meaning how information is collected, stored, shared, and used. So the same situation happens not only for consumers and customers, but also the partners as well. And therefore, there's a lot of investment needed for data protection and information security solutions. And when they try to integrate with each other, it can create new vulnerabilities. And therefore, this practice becomes important for both the organization and their partners and suppliers to understand and implement. Now, this practice doesn't work on its own, but it'll work a lot with other practices also, such as availability, capacity, performance management, risk management, service design, relationship management, architecture management, supplier management. Together, they will ensure that the products and services of an organization meet the required level of information security for all involved parties. However, the core guidance for information security management comes from this practice. It can also be treated as a specialized practice because you might have also known that there are specific certifications for information security from various certifying bodies, including Axelos. We have Resulia from Axelos and PeopleCert as well, a very specialized security certification. Therefore, it's possible that even though this could be a specialized area of an organization's business, it will have to integrate with other disciplines such as the ones that I mentioned earlier, risk management and so on. And also we know that in the modern business world, IT management, business management work closely, or rather, they become single entity rather than treating IT management separate and business management separate in many organizations. There is a closer integration, that is. But there are many organizations still who keep the business management and IT management separate also. So the summary here is all modern organizations depend a lot on the information security management practice because all organizations are using IT systems to a large extent. We will be understanding more about terms such as confidentiality, etc., as we move forward. This practice brings many benefits for both service providers as well as service consumers. From a service provider perspective, we have listed the following benefits here. One, protecting the organization's ability to remain operational and retain customers. Because if security breaches occur, then operations could be seriously impacted for the service provider and they may not be able to deliver complete value as expected to their customers. Also, for service provider, it protects the technology and data assets crucial for the organization's operations and the customers they work with. It protects them from loss of reputation and financial consequences, provides them a clear picture of information security threats and vulnerabilities, and optimizes and prioritizes investments with respect to information security. For the service consumer, though the above listed ones of the provider may also be applicable, but more relevant are the following. One, they know that the service provider is managing their technology and data assets, so they are assured that they are secure, and the consumer is able to protect their own organization, their employees, and their own customers from cybercrime due to the support given from the service provider. And then for the consumer, therefore, there is a less risk of data loss and data breaches, and therefore any expenses thereby will also reduce. Then consumer is better faced or equipped for security audits as they will be having more adherence to industry standards. So when their shareholders expect security audits to be delivered properly, then that would happen as well. And last but not the least, for the consumer, because of the efficiencies in this practice, they will be able to reduce the overall cost of keeping cyber resilience up to date.